Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video update on my company. Yesterday was an off day for me. PMS is a drag, right? But when you own your own business, unless you have pertinent information to get to, you can take your day off. So that's what I did. So today is actually my Monday. I started off today by calling Dun Bradstreet because I created my LLC and they created a number for me without my knowing. And they had my old address, which I didn't want to be made public. So that's my fault for not knowing how business worked. So I called them to update the address on Friday. And a young man helped me. And uh, they don't focus on one call resolution there at all. It's a Fortune 500 company that's being ran like a bootstrap, barely going. Um, Poor customer service, poor sales, um, poor management, very poor management. It reminds me of my old job. Anyways, so the guy was so busy trying to upsell me that he didn't do a good job, basically. And so I'm trying to get this updated to my business address and my business phone number. So yesterday on Monday morning, I get a call, and it's a cloaked PA number. And if you know anything about scammers, you know they love to use PA. So I pick it up, but it's just like, hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those scenarios, like, hmm, what do I do with this? So, anyways, the lady, she's a foreigner, and I hate to say it, but right? And so I hung up the phone because I thought it was a scam. I wasn't educated on how they conduct their business. Okay. This is Dun Bradstreet. And so I immediately call their customer service because I'm thinking something's fishy going on. And come to find out, this is how they conduct their business. Somebody, okay, so they were like, well, you'll get another call. I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and continued with my off day because I didn't feel good. You know, I was cramping. I just keep it all the way real. I'm a woman. So today I woke up ready for action because my two terrible PMS days are over, and I'm like, it's time to get back on it, right? I'm trying to start an empire here. I'm trying to start this business. Dun Bradstreet is pertinent to that to give business credit. So I get an email yesterday that I didn't follow up on saying, oh, by 12 noon tomorrow, you need to send us 2 bills from your business address. And I'm like, this is a virtual address for one. And for two, I just got it. And for three, do there have to be a three? And I'm like, it's updated with the Secretary of State. That should be enough. Oh, no, that's not enough. You can't do this. So I sent her or them, Roma, whoever this Roma person was, what I had, which was like an order of some business cards and my business address, and explained to them what this was. So you can't call that number back from PA and they just tell you, oh, we'll reach back out. And then the only number you have for Dun & Bradstreet is their customer service number. So I called their customer service back again, and I'm like, okay, I don't have a way. I explained the whole situation. It was a nice young man on the phone. Brother, he really handled himself well because he was just at a limbo, like, what do I do? And I'm just like, you know what, young man, just give me a supervisor. So I started waiting on a supervisor, and it was like 2-3 minutes. So I said, okay. I hung up. I called back, and I got another person on the phone. And this is where the ignorance just started. She was super ignorant. She was like, you can't have a virtual address. It has to be a physical location. I said, it is a physical location. It's a box. it's a physical location. And if that was the case, then I could have just got the LLC under the address for the virtual address in the first place, and you would have had no choice but to have this address. So what are you talking about? Just didn't have good sense, you know? And so I was like, well, let me get a supervisor. She kind of got silent, and she wanted to hang up, but she didn't. So then she passed me through to like a neighbor or something, and a neighbor, it was either her or a neighbor, and she was very short with me, this person, and I was like, well, what's the address you have now? And she was like, it just got updated. It just got updated. I'm like, okay, so what's the address? And she repeated it back to me. So I said, so is it updated online? And she's like, yes, it's updated now. I'm like, okay. So I hung up the phone, went online to DunBradstreet.com or what is it? Their website or whatever. And yeah, DMB.com. And I looked it up, and it says my old address, an abandoned house that I no longer even live at. So I called back over there, and it was a trigger word I used. So as soon as they get on the line, they say the call has been monitored and recorded. And I was like, oh, it's been recorded. Great. Immediately, Miss Nia froze up and was like, you know what? I can't continue this call. I'm going to have a supervisor call you back. What's your DUNS number? What do you mean? Because I said it was confirmed that it was recorded. Crazy. So she wouldn't give me a supervisor. She said the only way you could talk to a supervisor is they call you back within 3 days. So who was I talking to before? Then, so I hung up and called back. Now, mind you, I'm going to double back to my first call with the nice young gentleman. I told him, and this is the honest to God truth. When companies call me like telemarketers and stuff, they put me on their block list. They block me. Because if you mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. And with this company, it's not like the same thing because they're not a telemarketer, but they have sloppy customer service. Very sloppy. I didn't know that. None of the reviews and the people that I looked at on this YouTube, some people gave hints, but I'm just going to lay it out there. Dealing with Dun Bradstreet is difficult. They are focused on sales. I guess that's how they get their money, is trying to sell you them packages or whatever, $1,000 and all this stuff. Crazy mess or whatever. They say that, and they brag about how long they've been open, but they're a Fortune 500 company that's being ran poorly. They right hand don't know what their left hand is doing, and nothing makes sense that they say. You got to have a physical address for your business. What do you think a virtual address is? I guess she didn't get that the fact that it's a physical address that they drop off stuff to, and I can go pick it up because it is a physical address. It's just, her mind wasn't business minded. And for this to be a business company, you would think that they would hire people that were business minded, but they were probably desperate, like my last company that I worked for. And they were so desperate, they just started hiring anybody, not people that think logically, like with super, like, I may be weird, but I'm intelligent. There's a certain level, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not saying anybody could just do the job. Anybody can't do just any job. Like, was I made to be a what was it called? An accountant doing $100 million books? No, I wasn't. I wasn't made to be an accountant doing $1 million books. Okay? Because that's just different intelligence levels. So to take customer service calls, it's not just about saying hi, goodbye, thank you, and being the voice answering the phone. You actually need to have intelligence in that genre which you're working for. Now, where if you was taking orders for pizza, that's a different intelligence level too. Just saying. That's why they give you tests before you get jobs most of the time. But since the pandemic, they've been so desperate to get people on the phones that they're hiring anybody, especially the Fortune 500s. They will hire anybody. So let me go on with what I was saying. So then I called back. I called back because Nia, I wrote her name down. Nia didn't want to get me to a supervisor. Just wanted to get out the phone. So I got out on the phone again with somebody else, and that somebody else. Hey, you in my shot? Get out my shot. That somebody else was I didn't write down her name, but she was trying to figure out a way off the phone because I started drilling her, like just asking them questions. Like, okay, it's not updated online. Then she told me, well, any updates take us up to 17 days. Okay, let's just call her Melissa. Okay, Melissa, let me tell you what first call resolution is. When I called on Friday, the representative who took my call, he should have been like, okay, Miss Johnson, we're updating your address and your phone number. They are going to call you soon, within a few days, and verify this information. Just expect the number and remember to answer the phone because you won't be able to call that number back. Because when I called back, they knew that. So he knew that. So it just was bad customer service. So, this is okay. Let me go on. Okay. And they're going to verify your business information, your new information, so they can get that updated. Also, also, when they do get that updated, it can take up to 3 weeks for it to update and then go into your pitch. But he was so busy trying to get the pitch, he didn't do good customer service. So I just wanted to make this quick video. I don't know really where I stand right now with them. I don't know if it's actually been updated because all she did was keep asking me who I talked to that told me that. And I told her the lady's name, which is like Christy. And she said, well, let me get you back to Christy. Baby, I've been doing customer service I am 37 years old, since I was 17 years old. If I don't know how to run game and get somebody off a call, nobody do. How you gonna get me and Christy and this? You got hundreds, maybe thousands of people working there. I can look it up. Like you just gonna get Christy on the line. You just got off the phone with me. You just transferred the call blindly. So they have terrible customer service and I can say terrible because how many calls was this? Terrible customer service at Dun Bradstreet. When you deal with them with a long handle spoon. And I would say call back as many times as necessary to get somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Because a lot of people just coming in there getting a check. That's it. That's what they're doing. Oh, I'll update an address. I'll update a phone number. It seems like a very easy job, especially when you can get away with acting like a supervisor and get away with blindly transferring somebody. Anyways, just a little food for thought. I'm still going through the process, and hopefully my business address and phone number will finally get updated. Because it's pertinent that I'm trying to do it in a certain way. Like, because I already had that wrong information on file, I'm trying to make sure that everything gets corrected before I start applying for business credit, because I don't want people to look into my business information and see addresses and phone numbers that don't add up with me. And also, I'm updating all my information on Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion because they've had every address since the time I started living on my own, every phone number in the whole world that I've ever had, all of that stuff, aliases, all that. Get all that stuff cleaned off your record. Because when these companies come in and see you, they want to see that everything lines up. They don't need to worry about, oh, is this Monique or is this Carmen? Is this Johnson and Johnson? Aliases, all that stuff. So before I start applying for business credit, I would just like everything to be correct and accurate. And Dun Bradstreet, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, they all are here, consumer laws, to serve the businesses and to serve me as a consumer. They are here to serve me. My information needs to be updated if it's incorrect. And so I'm not going to stop. until they do their job. See ya.